these narcissists will do whatever they can to steal your personality, to steal your character, to drain your energy, to throw your life in complete chaos and disarray, because that's what they want. They don't want peace. They don't want water under the bridge. They don't want conclusion. Even if you guys have noticed, if you ever end a friendship or relationship with a narcissist, there's never any closure. There's never any proper goodbye, because they want to keep the roller coaster going. They want to keep you on that hamster wheel of emotion, of thinking about them, of playing games. I had a good friend of mine who was in a relationship with a very blatant narcissist, and she would do all the typical tactics: gaslight, manipulate. For example, she was hanging out with a friend of hers who was a guy, which is, again, not okay in a relationship. But she was trying to act like he was crazy for saying it's wrong. Saying, oh, I've known him since 7th grade. All this kind of stuff. And just driving my friend crazy. Like, he would literally hit me up every day with a new red flag or something else she was doing. And I told him the whole time, I said, dude, this girl is a narcissist. You need to break up with her. But unfortunately, he was so emotionally invested that the logical calculated side was clouded by the emotion. He wasn't looking at it from a rational perspective like someone from the outside was. Again, not just me. Many people were telling him, this is a narc. This is a narcissist. And the relationship ended pretty ugly because it just went on longer and longer and longer and longer. He finally, again, after the emotions were taken out, he realized, wow, yeah, she is a narcissist. But he stopped going to work for periods of time. He stopped hanging out with friends for periods of time. And again, he was always an emotional kind of, what's the right way to put it? Just kind of emotional panic. He was all over the place mentally. His whole day was revolving around this girl because she would just do these very sneaky things. And for example, guys, like pick and press these buttons, and then when you react a certain way, then it's gaslighting and, oh, you're being extreme. Oh, well, you're crazy. This and that. All these kind of tactics. All meant to cloud your emotion. All meant to occupy your time with them. Like when you're in a relationship or friendship with a narcissist, you forget the good things. Like it's crazy. The times I've been around narcissistic people versus the times that I've distanced myself from them. Like I said, when I turned the age of 25, 26, I just let go of all those people. And memories like when I was a kid, Christmas Day, stuff like that, started to come back, the good stuff. Whereas before, my day was so occupied by the games, the antics, all this kind of stuff. They'll try to gaslight you and make you look like the villain. They'll try to slander you to other people. They'll try to rally other people against you. And again, something that's really important to understand about these narcissists is that everything that they're accusing you of, if they do that, is something that they've done. Is something that they're fully... they're the clear as day of example of that. They're psychopaths, straight up. They're absolutely nuts. It's sick in the head. And I pray these people get better. I pray there is a way for them to get over these narcissistic ways. But again, I'm not going to be there to find out. The sooner you cut these people off, the better. And again, that's why I was so frustrated. And again, this is tough love, guys. But I get so frustrated when I see friends of mine who are in either relationships or friendships with people who are narcissists, and they're afraid to put the foot down and distance themselves from the person. Whether it's, oh, well, I don't want to be alone. And I've even heard people say this straight up, like, oh, well, I feel bad for them because no one wants to hang out with them. It's like, dude, you see why no one wants to hang out with them. It's because they're a complete narcissist. That's why they don't have any friends. That's why you're their only friend. Guys, that's the truth. People aren't naive to it. They'll catch on to their game eventually, no matter how hard they're going to try to make it seem like no one knows that they're a narc or no one knows their antics. People are going to catch on to it. And that's what they do. They want to go to the next person, go to the next victim. Because let's remember this too, guys. Once that narcissist is done draining your energy, or once it's over, once the discard, whatever you want to call it, they're going to find another victim. They're going to find another person who is naive to their games, who is naive to their antics, who doesn't know them that well. And they're going to run the same thing with them, the same cycle. That's the truth. So if it's you for a period of time, once that relationship or friendship, whatever ends, they're going to move on to the next person. It's something where people don't seem to realize how detrimental these kind of people really are. Like, these might be people who you've known for years, but you have to also ask yourself too, because I've had this happen where there's been friends I've known since high school, since middle school, who through adulthood I would have loved to keep in contact with, but I came to realize the only thing that we had in common was the past, were the times we played maybe Xbox together, the times we hung out together, whatever it might have been. There was nothing else holding that relationship. Nothing we had in common as adults. Very different mentality-wise, everything. So I was starting to ask myself, I'm like, not only are these people toxic, but it's like, why am I even keeping them around? And every time that I've cut off a narcissist, they always try to rekindle. I think it's called I believe Terry Joel Jr. made a video on this, talking about after the discard or whatever you want to call it, how they'll want to check in. We'll call it the narcissistic check-in. How are you doing? Just want to see how you're doing. Just want to make sure you're doing well. All that really is I want to see the damage that I've done to you and see if it's detrimental. See if you're in a bad place, because that's what they want. They want you to be in a bad place. They don't want you to flourish. And I've touched on this in a previous video, where if you are someone who is working hard towards something, has a good mindset, someone who is a positive person, someone who is a hard worker, that you're going to be the one who they want to sabotage the most. You're going to be the one who they want to drag down to their level. That's the truth. You being a good person has nothing to do with them, because I've seen a lot of people make this mistake with narcissists in particular, thinking that I can fix them, I'm a good person, I'll show them that not everyone's bad, I'll show them and they'll change their ways. Backfires every time. Literally backfires every time. They just want to sabotage your daily tasks. They want to sabotage your daily life. Literally everything you do, they want you thinking about them. They want you occupied on them. Whether it's even making food, or dishes, whatever it might be, they want 24/7 to be on your mind. They want to run this roller coaster. That's why even if you notice with them, what's very messed up is that a lot of these narcissists, they'll show you the kind of person that they could be. They'll show you the good side. They'll show you the generous side. They'll show you the kindness for a snippet. You'll get a sneak peek of it. And then it's back to the games. That's complete manipulation. I mean, it's evil. Really. That's the only way I could put it. It's essentially attempting to, what is the right way to say this? Do away with someone without having it done physically. I'll put it that way. Their end goal is for your detriment. That's what people need to understand. They are verbally abusive. They are psychologically abusive. They are manipulative. They will gaslight you if you try to call them out on this kind of stuff, which, again, the best thing you could do is go no contact. That's the best thing you could do with narcissists, because if you try to confront them, they're either going to dilly-dally, try to ignore the message and act like everything is fine, or they're going to try to make it seem like you're crazy and this and that for thinking that kind of stuff. That's what's going to happen. Because they don't want closure. They don't want the relationship or friendship to end. They want it to keep going. They want that narcissistic supply. on repeat. They're going to use that as an opportunity to blow even more drama out of proportion. The best thing you could do with a narcissist is go full no contact. Block them on social media. Block them on text. Stop feeling bad about it. Again, I see so many people who, they have people who are objectively detrimental and toxic in their life, and they're afraid to distance themselves from it. That is a disservice to yourself if you're doing that. You are sacrificing your own mental health and well-being and ability to evolve and grow as a person. Because these same people, when you start calling them out on their stuff, when you start putting the foot down, they'll be like, oh, you switched up, you changed. When it's not that you changed. Number one, it's that you changed for the better. But number two, it's that you grew as a person. You matured as a person. You realized you got better discernment and a keen eye for it, which, again, it sucks to go through it. It sucks to deal with that kind of stuff. Especially when, they show you the kind of person that they could have been. When they show you for a snippet, the good side, the light, if you want to call it that. But if there's one positive takeaway, I know it sounds a little bit cliche, but now you have a better keen eye for it, to not make the same mistake again of letting someone like that sabotage your life, to inform other people if you have friends or family who you see red flags in a person, because that's the thing that's important too. It was a jiu-jitsu coach actually said this to me, which really stuck with me, because he was talking about a marriage of his where the girl was a narcissist, and it actually, no, they weren't married, but this is when he was like 20. She ended up cheating on him, and basically he was head over heels. Like he was in love with her, right? And his logical side was clouded by the emotion, like I talked about with my friend earlier in the video. But he had all this really family members, friends saying, hey, this girl's no good. Look at all these red flags. Do not take her seriously. This is going to backfire. And he didn't listen. Whether it's lack of humility, whether it's emotions clouding the logical side. Because I understand when you build a bond, when you make memories with a person, and I'll be upfront with this, guys, no matter what you tell yourself, it's not easy to cut the person off. I completely agree and acknowledge with that, but you have to make those hard decisions. But my point being is, right, she cheated on him, it backfired, and he had people there the whole time who could see it from an outside lens. So if you have good people in your life, friends or family, I would say, if there's someone who has your best interest, I would say take that stuff to heart, because they're really looking out for you. And me, myself, with my friend earlier, who was dating that narcissist, which luckily it was only for like 4 months. Again, the longer it got on, the worse it would have gotten. She was even trying to play antics after they broke up. Crazy as it sounds. He would go, because her place of work was a place he'd go to pretty routinely. He'd kind of have to go there throughout his day. And again, you guys can imagine the kind of games that would be played. Showing I remember you, I thought you'd come, stuff like that, like saying, I was wondering when you'd be back. I mean, again, manipulation to try to put you back on the wheel. She's being nice now. Now she's ignoring me. These are just games. This is extremely manipulative. I'll say it straight up, and this might be controversial. To me, it's worse than physical abuse. Psychological, mental abuse, this form of abuse, in a way, is worse. Because not only is it going to take a physical toll on you, but let's not forget, guys, a lot of the time, too, the body will reflect the mind. I mean, the times in my life where I've dealt with narcissistic people, I was super stressed. I was out of shape. My diet was a joke. I was super depressed. I've known people who have had that same thing. They deal with these kind of people. They just let themselves go. They stop going to the gym. They start eating fast food. They stop grooming. They stop doing hygiene. They stop. They give up. And it's heartbreaking to see. But guys, don't let these narcissists deprive you of your character. Don't let them make you into something that you're not. Don't let them make you into a bad person. Because they want you to react. They want you to snap. They want you to break so they can play the victim. So they can be like, oh yeah, he really is crazy. See everything I said about that person, everything I was saying when I was gossiping about him the whole time we were talking, right? And I was gossiping about him to other people the whole time. Do not give them that satisfaction. Go no contact, ghost them, cut them off. And yeah, it might be a hard decision at first, but down the line, you'll realize that it was the right move. You'll be thankful you did it. Believe me on that. And I know that there's a lot more to it. When people talk about narcissists, they talk about mostly relationships, but you have family members who are narcissists. I've heard of that. I've heard of coworkers. I've heard of friendships, obviously. Do what you can to distance yourself from those people. You know, if you're in a toxic workplace, do what you can to not be around that person. Do what you can to not give in to the antics. I've heard of people who have grown up with narcissistic mothers, and obviously under the age of 18, they're your guardian. It's terrible. It's terrible. But guys, no matter what amount of suffering you go through, no matter what amount of psychological games you go through, no matter how hard the breakup might be, no matter how hard the friendship ending, whatever it might be, do not let them take your personality. Do not let them take your character. Do not let them win. Anyway, guys, thanks for viewing the video. It's a topic, one of my first videos, I believe I talked about narcissists, but something I wanted to touch on again. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a good one. Thanks.